There are more than 700 beaches around the UK, and 2 out of 3 people in the country are likely to visit the seaside at least once this year. As a meteorologist, I can get a bit carried away with explaining the weather, but I've got a few simple weather tips that can help you, your friends and family make the most of your visits to the coast.
RNLI lifeguards like me are already present on many of the beaches and in coastal waters, helping to keep you safe, and I also have a few tips to help you enjoy the water safely. So, what's first, Alex?
Obviously, the first thing you need to do is to check the weather forecast. The Met Office website has weather information, but also tide time, so you can pick the perfect time and day for your visit. The RNLI website has a list of lifeguarded beaches, so you can pick the perfect spot.
Keep an eye on the state of the tide and the times of low and high water to avoid getting caught out. You don't want to get cut off by the high tide. You can tell where the high tide is by the line of debris on the beach. And while you're out there, keep an eye on your surroundings. The tide can come in very quickly.
Yes, tides are very dangerous, but they are somewhat predictable. Remember though that the weather can change quite dramatically and quite quickly. Make sure you've got the Met Office app with you so you can keep up to date while you're on the beach.
Lifeguards often write useful information on the boards near the lifeguard huts, so keep an eye on that too. The weather can often be very localised, especially when it comes to things like coastal fog.
Yes, that's a great tip, Henry. Our weather app shows wind direction and speed, and also how gusty it is. Now, the wind direction is really important. The name of the wind actually tells you where the wind is coming from, but the arrow points in the direction it's going. If you've got an offshore wind, that can be really quite dangerous for swimmers and paddle boarders because it just keeps blowing you further out to sea. It can be really hard to get back. Now, it can be really exhilarating for a walk along our coast, but when it's really windy and gusty, that can be dangerous for that activity as well. Again, make sure you check the Met Office app to see how gusty the winds are and try and avoid those strong offshore gusts, even for a walk along one of our beautiful coasts.
We would always recommend you go to a beach where there are lifeguards who can help you if you get into trouble. When you're at the beach, be sure to swim between the red and yellow flags. This is the area that the lifeguards patrol and is the safest place to swim. Be aware of rip currents, which can be hard to spot but can pull you out away from the beach, out of your depth. Sometimes the water that looks very calm is where there is a rip current.
And of course, you can always ask a lifeguard about when and where to swim.
It's really important not to overestimate your abilities, to always respect the water. Make sure someone knows you're in the water, and if you do get into trouble, don't panic. Float on your back, push your chest up and spread your arms out. And please keep in mind that inflatables were not designed to be used in the sea. They can be quickly pulled out by the tide and wind conditions, so please keep those for the swimming pool.
The app can also help you keep track of UV levels so you can stay safe in the sun. Even in spring and autumn, even when it's quite cloudy, UV levels can still be moderate or high. Did you know that up to 80% of the sun's UV rays can still penetrate light cloud? Current sun safety advice is to seek shade during the hottest part of the day, so that's between 11 AM and around 3 PM. So cover up, wear a hat, wear sunglasses, wear sunscreen, SPF 30+, and remember to drink plenty of water.
Being in the sea is great fun, but there can be hidden dangers. The water can still be really cold. Enter it slowly to reduce the risk of cold water shock. Always swim between the red and yellow flags. Never swim alone.
So if you download the Met Office app and follow these simple tips, visit the RNLI websites, then we can all enjoy the beaches more safely.